What is going on, college basketball fans? Today we're going to be talking some Kentucky basketball and specifically John Calipari and if he should get fired this season because Kentucky is looking like a whole mess right now. They're not performing well. They just took a loss yesterday to a not so good South Carolina team at home, and they actually had a fan in the stands holding a sign that said, "Please go to Texas," pointed directly towards John Calipari to leave Kentucky and go take the Texas job. So it's not looking great right now for Kentucky. We're going to get into it in just a second. I just want to say subscribe if you guys are new. We do a ton of college basketball content here on the channel, and hit that like button if you guys enjoy, and let me know down below in the comment section, especially Big Blue Nation. Let me know, should John Calipari be fired? Let me know. Let's get started. All right, so this season Kentucky is sitting at 10-6 at this point in the season. You may think, well, that's not so bad, but they are also 3-6 against Power 6 level opponents, and I included Gonzaga in those Power 6 level opponents, even though they're not in the Power 6 conference. But they lost to South Carolina at home, a South Carolina team that is 8-8 at this point in the season. We're 7-8 coming into that game. They lost to Alabama by 26, and they lost to Missouri by 14. So they're 1-3 right now in SEC play, and that is not very good at all. And their best win up to this point in the season is coming against the Michigan team that is 9-6, and Michigan themselves not having that great of a season as well. So at this point, I would say Kentucky is not a NCAA tournament team. Yeah, they're going to have a lot more opportunities. I know they have Kansas down the road in the SEC Big 12 Challenge, and they also have a bunch of good SEC opponents like Tennessee, like Arkansas. They're going to have their opportunities to pick up some good wins and still be able to sneak into the tournament this year. But right now, with all the expectations they had coming into the season preseason, I mean, after what happened last year, they were a 2 seed. They lost first round to 15-seeded St. Peter's, and I think myself included, a lot of people thought Kentucky was going to have a big bounce back year. They were going to dominate all season long. They have their reigning player of the year returning in Oscar Tshiebwe. They have really good 5-star recruits coming in, and I think a lot of people, including myself, thought Kentucky was going to have a bounce back year. They were going to dominate in the SEC and make a run at least to around the Sweet 16, Elite 8 in this year's tournament and bounce back. But right now, it's just not looking good. So let's take a look at what John Calipari has done since he was hired there at Kentucky. So he was hired by Kentucky in the 2009-2010 season. He is 375-107 there with his stint at Kentucky. He's been to 11 NCAA tournaments, 4 Final Fours, and won 1 national championship. Of course, that national championship coming back in 2012. And the last Final Four that he's made with Kentucky has come there in 2015. So, yes, he's made 4 Final Fours. Yes, he's won a national championship, but he hasn't been that deep since 2015. So it's been still quite a while, and I think Kentucky fans are getting a little bit impatient with what has been happening recently there at Kentucky, because these last 3 seasons have not been great, and I think that is why a lot of these fans are starting to want to push him out the door. Because in 2021, 3 seasons ago, he went 9-16. That was the year after COVID. I think a lot of people kind of pushed that season off to the side, kind of giving coaches the benefit of the doubt there, because it's the season after COVID. It was a tough time to coach. But then in 2022, last season, he went 26-8, had a really good year, but then got upset in the first round of March Madness, and then we all know what is going on this year. They are 10-6 at this point in the seasons, with a lot of expectations to start the year, only halfway through the season, and already 6 losses and not really any good wins against teams that are looking like tournament teams. I think the big thing going on about John Calipari is that he does less with more. He has all these really good 5-star recruits coming in and year after year, but he just can't seem to get it done. Like I said, he hasn't been to the Final Four since 2015, and he's recruiting all these NBA prospects, sending them to the league where they're doing great things, but he's just not developing that talent to win at the college level. And I think Kentucky fans are getting fed up with that part. That's the big thing. He's doing less with more. And now we get to the big question: should John Calipari be fired? And like I said, I want to hear everybody's opinions down below in the comment section if you guys think he should be fired or not. Especially Kentucky fans, let me know down below in the comment section. But in my opinion, I think Big Blue Nation standards are really high, and as they should be. You know, they're a blue blood, they have a really good history, and they have a history of winning, and they have a history of getting really good recruits. So I think the standards are high, and we have to remember that whenever thinking about making this decision. However, I still think John Calipari deserves at least one more year after this one to try to get it together. He's still recruiting at a very high level, and I know that's not the problem with Calipari, but I think bringing in some of these new guys, giving him one more year, and if he doesn't succeed next season, I think that's when you kick him out the door. But I do think he will get fired at the end of the season if he doesn't start to turn things around. Like I said, he has a lot more opportunities to pick up some big wins against teams like Tennessee, Arkansas. They have Kansas in the Big 12 SEC Challenge, so he's going to have his opportunities. If they don't make the tournament this season, I think he will be fired. However, like I said, I think he deserves one more year. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. That's going to do it for this video. Make sure you guys subscribe for daily college basketball content. We got our episode 7 of the Danny Hoops podcast coming out tomorrow morning, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching.